Hi, it's Linda Emsley from Lovelali, back for take two of the lunchtime chat in the lounge room at Lovelali. And hopefully this time I'll be able to have technology working for me and be able to have the gorgeous Myf Powell join me in person so that we can talk all things belly dancing today. Belly dancing is something that I've taken on board in my life recently. And for me personally, I've found it highly beneficial for hip health, joint health in the pelvis and all of that sort of stuff, keeping the pelvic floor happy and toned, all that sort of stuff. The physical benefits are just wonderful. But the fact that you have so much fun with it and cheer up the inner child is just beautiful. So I see Myf has joined me. So here we go, everybody. Cross your fingers. Hey, there she is. Add you in? Yes, please. Hooray, this is fabulous. So adding you in, just letting technology catch up. So Myf has been the troop director of Jamila Belly Dancing since 2000, and she is a dynamic and active member of our community. Hello! We did it!
Good, yay! Oh my gosh.
Welcome, Myf. Thank you so much for your patience with technology and my bumbling driving ability with the technology. It's really wonderful to connect with you.
You know more than I do, Linda.
So here we are at last, and I see that you're in your beautiful dance studio.
Yes, yes.
Quick look around. That's very apt.
Yes,
that's gorgeous. I will definitely be there on Tuesday night. I can't wait. Looking forward to it.
Oh, great, great.
Might just have to leave my kids to fend for themselves if my husband gets called into work at the last minute again.
Yes, that's my situation too. I've got the toddler corralled upstairs at the moment.
Oh, fair enough. Yep. So, well, I won't keep you too much longer because we have spent quite a bit of time getting connected today. So I'm just bearing in mind you've probably got a lot to be continuing on with. So I just wanted to start with some really ease you into things questions and ask what got you started in belly dancing?
Oh, really? My big sister, who's 20 years older than me. I moved to Alice Springs when I was 18 and she was into belly dancing and she sort of dragged me along to class and I thought it was okay, you know. And then an amazing performer called Lenny who came to Alice Springs and just dazzled everybody. And I thought, oh, I want to be like a Lenny. And I'm still trying to be like a Lenny. She's still dancing and she is amazing.
Okay. Yeah, it's wonderful, isn't it, when you bump into somebody so inspirational and they shape your life? It's amazing. Yeah. Hello, Karen. Welcome back. Thank you so much for persevering with Facebook technology today. It's great to have you join us again in the lounge room. And I'm finally connected with Myf. It's wonderful.
Yay!
So I started talking a little bit about the health benefits I've noticed for myself, and that is, you know, the freeing up of my hips and, you know, the lower joints in the lower back. I've really noticed opening up and movement starting to come back, and I'm also noticing it moving all the way up my own spine, up into the thoracic spine as well. But there's a lot of other benefits. So would you like to illustrate some of those for us?
Sure. Well, what I find with belly dance is it's a whole body thing. So it's not just the belly, though belly certainly comes into it. But it's smooth, fluid movement of pretty much your entire body. So it's not jarring, it's not locking through the body. It's about release of tension and flow. And I think bodies really benefit from that style of movement. And you know, and it's elegant, it's graceful, and it just allows hopefully your whole skeleton to just relax, free up, and flow.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, that idea of relaxing. Hey Adair, thanks so much for coming back into the lounge room. I'm glad you found us again. What I've noticed in particular is the whole rigidity and expectation in my own body
Mm-hmm.
when I started working with belly dancing, and then
Mm-hmm.
noticing that to actually do the movements, you have to be really relaxed. They actually
Yeah.
work and look a lot better if you take a breath and relax. So
Yes.
that's one
Yeah.
of the things I really love. Welcome,
Yes.
Connie. Thank you for finding us again. Welcome, Michelle. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, good. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, the release of tension. We hold a lot of tension in our bodies. So anybody who works with bodies would know that. So belly dance, the more you can release and let go, the better it is. And you have that mind body connection. I think frees up a little bit. But having said that, the releasing. Releasing the tension in your body can cause a bit of emotional sort of trauma sometimes as well as you let, old things
Hmm.
go as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely. So it really is, a good inner individual therapy that you can just do any time for yourself, really, when you're practicing at home and all that sort of stuff. And I have a question from Adair. She says, what happens when your belly is so wobbly it's uncomfortable?
Oh, move smaller. So it's a little bit of, you've got to move within the confines of your own body. So that's what I love about it is you have to develop your own style. Um,
Mm,
And, in the process of learning, you're toning up your belly anyway. You're learning to engage those muscles, which really most of us haven't really engaged much at all. So, it gets better. It gets better as long as you don't overdo it to start off with. So I'm just reading the next one.
mm.
My body goes one way, my mind the other. Oh yes, Michelle. Yes, hi. Yes, there's a bit of that happens. um,
Yeah,
yeah, you can't take yourself too seriously. We don't want to do
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I've certainly found the more you relax and the less you think about it, the better your body does. It's like your body does much better without your mind when
Yes,
it comes
that's
to belly
right.
dancing.
That's
Mm,
right. Yeah. After a while, when you're dancing, you've got the music and you're just dancing, um, I don't think your conscious mind comes into it much at all. It has a holiday while you just move to the music, and that's lovely.
yeah, it is actually. It's nice. It's a nice form of mindfulness, really. It's taking the focus out of being conscious without being
Yeah.
unconscious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And it's
very
just that,
tricky.
yeah, and it's emotional connection to your body and to the music and to the people around you often as well. So, it's
Mm,
well documented. Dance has a lot of very good benefits for mental health and
yeah,
physical health. Yeah.
yeah,
Any kind of
absolutely.
dance, anything, not just belly dance, but all types of dance.
Yeah, I certainly like dancing and I love belly dancing. It's so much fun. I think that's what I love about coming to your classes is I know that there's just a great group of women there and the
Mm,
sense of fun as soon as you walk through the door, you feel welcome, you feel safe, and you just know you're
great.
going to laugh. You're going to have
Great.
fun.
No, that's really good. That's,
So, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
and
they're lovely.
Adair's
Oh,
saying that
yeah.
she loves Zumba, and I think I'd really enjoy belly dancing. I think you would too, Adair.
Yes, yes. Come along and give it a
Absolutely.
try, Adair. We do, I teach a casual class, so you can just do 1 hour. Just come along and give
Yeah.
it a try. Yeah, if
So,
you like
Myf,
Zumba and you love it. Yes.
my question for you, do you offer online teaching? Because Adair's actually based in Adelaide.
Oh, wow. Okay. I've never tried it, though I know other belly dancers do it. And why not?
Yeah.
You know, yeah,
Yeah.
idea. And it
Oh,
also,
there you go. Maybe,
yeah.
sorry, I cut you off. You were going to say something?
No, I think then it cuts out the whole drama of being at the right spot at the right time and all that kind of thing as well, doesn't it? Makes it a bit more
Yeah.
flexible. Yeah,
Yeah, it
absolutely.
does. Yeah, it's an interesting thought for you to work with, see if it
Ah,
takes you anywhere.
right.
So, a couple of other questions for you. You've been doing this belly dance work and teaching for quite a number of years,
Yep.
and Adair's just saying it's a great idea. She'd totally hook up for an online class.
Fabulous.
And Michelle is also saying that she loves the dress ups that go with it. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
My inner child just is so gleeful when she sees all that bling.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You don't wear that to an aerobics class, do you?
No, 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 you don't. And Adair's saying that she can see that happening in a group with her laptop hooked up on her big screen TV. Oh, look out.
Yes.
So we could be
Yep.
having dance parties, belly dance
Yeah.
parties.
Yay. That'd
That's
be
pretty
good.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is the shimmy. Oh, there's an organisation that do online. They do teacher choreography, and when they all get together at a festival, they get together and actually perform the choreography. So one of a belly
Oh,
dance
wow.
group, I can't think what it's called. It's a good idea. Mm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I have another question for you. With
Mm.
the amount of time that you've been doing the teaching and the different women that you've had in your group over time, just
Yeah.
wondering what you notice about women's self-esteem and their self-confidence over the
Oh,
time working with you doing belly dance.
well, classic example is most beginners come in and they usually say something to me like, "I'm never going to perform." And they swear absolutely blind that they will never perform. And I go, oh, okay, that's nice. And then a few years later, there they are out on the dance floor in the public, dancing away,
Yeah,
having a whale of a time. So that tells me that they've
yeah,
grown a bit in self-confidence and in presenting themselves. And not everybody does, but that's just a small example of, I think, of how women just learn to like themselves, particularly, as you get a bit older, um, there's less avenues to sort of get out and express yourself and be, looked at and admired and, that kind of thing as well. Appreciated, I think, is more the word. And belly dancing is
mm,
lovely. We can go out into the community and we can, give little kids a fantastic time, and we go out to, say, aged care villages and engage with the residents there, and they have a whale of a time. It's just about, you know, getting confident enough to get out there and contribute more. And
yeah.
it's very debilitating. There's a lot of women who really intensely dislike their bodies, and that is really distressing.
Mm-hmm.
So belly
It
dance
is,
counts.
and yeah. And that's actually one of the things that I found quite challenging when I first walked into your studio was that wall of mirror
Oh
at the
yeah,
front and
yes,
the expectation that no, you don't stay at the back, you actually have to move right down the front, even when you're just learning, you have no idea what you're doing. And yeah,
yeah,
you've got to stand at the front so you've got everybody behind you watching and you can see yourself, your whole body in
yeah.
that mirror in front of you. And
Mm.
that can be really confronting.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is. But the mirror is a tool. It's a tool to make
yeah,
sure that you are actually, in alignment and working both sides of your body, at the same time. So you will have noticed yourself that one side of your body moves completely differently to the other side of your body. So that's part
mm-hmm.
of discovering how your body moves and what it likes to do. So yes, the mirror has a force field. It tends to push people back in my studio. So I have to keep bossing
Absolutely.
everybody to come forward.
Yes, we all sort of shirk away from the mirror. And I see
Yes.
we've been joined by Andrew. Welcome, Andrew.
Oh,
And
yes.
Karen is saying empowering. So I suspect
Yeah.
that she has experience with belly dancing and has discovered that for herself. So it
Right.
is a wonderful tool for self-empowerment. It truly is. And
Yeah.
Adair loves the idea of dress ups and the colour. Why doesn't that surprise me at all, Adair?
And I can see
I
Rhiannon's
think
hopped on.
you're,
Right.
oh, fantastic. And Adair, I think your idea of a global dance party is a really cool one, and we could do a watch party perhaps with belly
Mm,
dancing.
yep.
That would be interesting. Yeah. So I'm just wondering about what the origins of belly dancing are. There seems to be a number of different
Right.
cultural influences
Yes,
in
there
belly
is.
dancing. Yeah.
Yes, that's quite a complex question. So I will take it down to what we have drawn from mostly in Australia. Most belly dance has come from Egypt, to Australia. There are different belly dances all through the Middle East. So the Arabic countries as well as Persia and related sort of cultures. I guess you could look at the modern belly dance movement has come from about 1910 from Cairo, the nightclubs of Cairo, which were occupied at that time by the Allied soldiers. You know, it was World War One at that point.
Mm.
And modern belly dance sort of developed from there by a few key people, dancers. And yeah, I would say that's the clear start of what you see now. The use of veils, the two-piece costume, stagecraft, that kind of thing, that has all come from that particular era and developed from there. Historically, of course, it's, you know, dance and music go back thousands of years. So you're looking at, you know, a long history of various folk style dancing all through the Middle East to different rhythms, different tribes of people, you know, that kind of thing. So it's, and, you know, and it's very complex. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
Mm.
So, do you think the link that there might have been a link with, you know, some worship aspect as well as some of the just the social,
Yeah.
cultural ties in there going back thousands of years?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, music is, um, uh, what can I say? Music was developed to a very, very high degree in Arabic countries and from Persia and things like that. In fact, a lot of our Western instruments actually were taken from Persia and from Egypt and from all that sort of stuff. So, and of course, when there's music, there's dancing because people move. They want to move to the music. I think
Mm.
um, men and women both dance, but I think you definitely would be looking at some kind of sort of spiritual kind of connection or something like that coming through in dance. It's a little bit tricky. I think written records were a little bit limited for this kind of thing. It's
Mm.
been something that's passed down through families verbally and via musicians and things
Okay.
like that. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Yeah.
in its modern kind of sense, though, yes, it's been taken and used, trance dancing, all sorts of rituals. You know, you do hear about sort of birthing rituals and that kind of stuff as well. It's not something I've
Hmm.
researched extensively, but it's certainly part of, um, you know, one of the range of belly dance or what can I'm trying to explain this properly. It's certainly part of belly dance, and speaking personally, I can say that being a belly dancer certainly does help give birth to your child.
Yeah. Well, you know, that region of the woman's body is so well looked after in belly dancing. I think it's
Yeah.
a really powerful tool for, you know, maintaining the health of the hips and the pelvis and all
Yes.
that pelvo-abdominal region. It's
Hmm.
really a very, very good practice for all sorts of
Yeah.
things. And I'm just noticing we've had a couple of comments come through that Adair is saying that ask my Zumba teacher. I'm so far in front, I'm nearly instructing myself.
Ah, you need to
So we
belly
wouldn't
dance
have to have.
clearly.
And Michelle can remember seeing a professional belly dancer for the first time in Cairo, and she was
Hmm.
about 10 years old, and she's never forgotten it. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
why it's stuck in my mind so much too. It really, like as a young child, even just seeing belly dancing on TV in one of those old Hollywood movies was enough to mesmerize me, and it really stuck with me my whole life. So I finally
Great.
got the courage to listen
Yay.
to my inner child and go dancing.
Yeah, that's
And
great.
Adair is saying that she's got to get going. She's got her own live broadcast to prepare for. So thank you very much,
Wow.
Adair. And yep, a global dance party might be a thing.
Ah, that
And I'm
sounds
just
great.
checking our
Thanks, Adair.
time. Yeah, that would be heaps of fun. So yeah, I've kind of reached the end of my list of questions, the things that
Okay.
I really um, were burning in the back of my mind. I guess
Okay.
the only
Right.
other question would be, what do you see in the future for belly dancing?
Yeah, belly dancing's going through a lot of ups and downs at the moment. So where it comes from in Egypt and that area is subject to, the fundamentalist Muslim beliefs don't support dance and music. So I myself have met people who have been basically, musicians, for example, that have been pushed out of their own country because they're not allowed to
Wow.
play their music, this kind of thing. And that's certainly affecting the dance. Um, so I guess it's moved to America. A lot of the teachers now live in America or they live in Europe or somewhere like that where they can earn a living and they get, they're respected and, they can continue doing what they love to do. So, it's interesting to see what's happening to belly dance. It's certainly going through a lot of changes. Um,
Mm.
and there's so many different genres that are turning up and things like that. Yeah, it's an interesting time, I guess. I think it's really good. I think it's one of those wonderful dances, though, that can be taken and you can apply it in all sorts of different ways to different aspects of your life. You can mix it in with other things that you're interested with. You can fuse it with other dance forms, and that's been done for probably thousands of years, really. And it's continuing.
Yeah.
The pace is picking up with social media. It's a visual thing, so being able to
Mm.
get on Facebook and YouTube and check out what someone's doing over in the Ukraine or something like that is really picking up the pace of learning and inspiration and how things are changing as well. So it's very dynamic.
Oh,
It's a very
fantastic.
dynamic
Yeah.
dance form, constantly changing. Yeah, very
Wow.
interesting. Yeah, but the
Yeah, fantastic.
fundamentals, yeah, the fundamentals remain. It's often danced mostly by women, not necessarily, but there are a lot of men out there who dance too, and it's a wonderfully supportive dance form. I think it's great for your body. It's something you can do as you grow old. I expect to be 110 and still shuffling around, belly dancing with my sequins
Fabulous.
on.
Well,
Yeah.
that's inspirational. I think, I've started a little bit behind you, a little bit behind the eight ball there. I've got a few
Oh,
years catching
okay.
up
Ah,
to get to
you're
the,
fine.
to your beautiful standard. But that's certainly an admirable goal to be aiming for, dancing around at 120, 110, whatever it was. Um, I
Yeah.
can see myself in the nursing home shuffling around in my sequins. I think
Ah,
that's
great.
something to aim for.
Yeah, I think we should all aim for that. Let's not go for beige.
Absolutely. Oh no, no, definitely bring out. I've got a little bit of sequin happening here today. Just a
Oh,
little bit
good.
of sparkle.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
need the sparkles on. Yes, I
Yeah.
think have I got
Awesome.
I took them off because I've got my headphones in. So
Oh, right.
yeah.
Yep. Yes. That's right. As
So
you go, you'll collect more.
oh absolutely. Oh, dangly earrings and I have had a very long and happy acquaintance. It's one of the things I love. So yes. So, Myf, you've currently got another term of dance underway, is that right? Or have you just started your next term?
We've just started, but particularly the beginners classes, we'd love more people to join our beginners classes. So I'll do a quick spruik if that's all right, Linda.
Oh, yes, please go right ahead.
We so in Palmerston, I've got the lovely Katie is teaching a class in Palmerston at 9:30 on a Saturday morning at the Palmerston Recreation Centre, and that's you can drop in and check that out any Saturday except for this Saturday because they've closed the recreation centre for something. The other thing is I've only just started my Monday night beginners class, which is 7:15 in Leanya at my home where I have a studio, which is where I'm sitting, and it's number 44 Murrabee Street, and 7:15 on a Monday. And the cost for a casual class is $18 for an adult, a little bit cheaper for a teenager. And you can just come along casually and check it out. So I just run the classes so that you can drop in and out and just get a feel for belly dance and if you like it and if you want to continue with it, which would be terrific.
Absolutely. Well, I highly recommend it. I think if you're even the
Great.
slightest bit interested, go and have a look, check it out. You've got options for Palmerston and for in Leanya. So there's no excuse really if you live in
Yeah.
Darwin. If you're living interstate, I guess you could just do a Google search and find a belly dance instructor close to where you
Mm-hmm.
live. But
Mm-hmm.
it sounds like it's a fairly widespread dance option. So check it out. It's heaps of
Great.
fun. You'll really, really love it. And if there's a part of you that wants some bling, but you're too scared to wear it in your ordinary everyday, go and do belly dancing because you get to put it on.
That's right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, well,
So,
thanks,
Myf,
Linda.
that's a pleasure. Thank you so much. And thanks for persevering through the technical difficulties at the beginning there. I
That's
was a bit concerned we wouldn't
fine.
connect at all today, but I'm glad we did.
We did it.
It's been
Yes.
wonderful
Fantastic.
talking. Yes,
Okay, lovely. Well, I look forward to seeing you
fantastic.
in class.
Yep, I'll see you Tuesday night, definitely.
Okay, lovely. All right.
All right.
Okay,
Thanks, Myf.
bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Okay, so this is Linda Emsley from Love Lali. I finally got to have my lounge room chat today. I was a bit concerned it wasn't going to happen. That was the beautiful, glamorous Myf Powell from Jamila Ballet Dancing here in Darwin. And if anything that we talked about today sparks your interest, do get in touch with Myf. I will put her Facebook address in the description around this video somewhere, either above or below, so that you can connect directly with her and ask any other questions you might not have had the opportunity to ask while we're broadcasting. If you're watching the replay and you do have some questions, do ask them in the comments below. Either myself or Myf will come back through and answer your questions for you. So thanks very much everybody for popping in today and sharing your lunchtime with me in the lounge room. And if you're watching the replay, thank you very much for joining in. It's been wonderful to connect with you. And I look forward to chatting with you again next week here in the lounge room. Bye for now.